The one piece that was missing was my joy, and I knew that my joy was linked to my purpose. And one thing that had always brought me joy was house music. So I thought, oh, I'll just give DJing a little bit of a whirl just to see what happens. And then I just came alive.
Hey there. Welcome or welcome back to the Mischief Movement podcast. I'm Zoe, your guide on this journey to shake up the status quo and design a life that truly makes you feel alive. If you've ever felt disconnected, stuck on autopilot, or trapped in a life that feels more like a treadmill than an adventure, you're in the right place. I know that change can feel scary, so let's turn down the fear and crank up the fierce as we transform your life from the inside out. Whether it's solo episodes packed with actionable advice or interviews with some absolute badass human beings who've dared to defy the norm by living life their way, we're here to inspire, activate, empower, and challenge you each week. My mission is simple: to help you reawaken your rebel spirit, break free from mediocrity, and design a life that's anything but dull. You only get one wild life, so what are you planning to do with yours? If you're ready to stop settling, start living boldly, and create a positive impact along the way, let's dive in and stir up some mischief together. Now buckle up and let's go. Hey Mischief Makers, welcome back to the podcast where we celebrate bold moves, rebellious spirits, and unapologetic self-expression. Today, we're turning up the volume, literally, with the incredible Caroline Kelf, aka DJ Flourish. Now, Caroline is the powerhouse behind the Self-Love Rave, a movement that's helped over 5,000 women step into their power through music, movement, and pure joy. She's DJ'd at major wellbeing festivals, had over 30,000 listens to her mixes, and is on a mission to help people embrace their unique brilliance because, as she puts it, we're all disco balls made to shine in our own way. In this episode, we get real about self-love, authenticity, and the courage it takes to truly be yourself. We chat about how Caroline found her voice as a DJ, the magic of music in personal transformation, and why showing up unapologetically is the ultimate act of rebellion. So if you're ready to turn up the volume on self-love, break free from the ordinary, and shine exactly as you are, this episode is for you. Well, this week, I'm actually having a conversation with Caroline Kelf, also known as DJ Flourish, but I won't say too much because I want to ask you, what is your mischief?
Oh my God, we're going straight in there.
Straight in there. No messing about. What is it?
My mischief is to be more me every day in order to inspire other women and other people to be more them every day. And I do that through a variety of ways. I do it through my self-love raves, which are the ultimate dance experience for women to tap into joy and freedom and ultimately back to themselves. I do it through my writing. I write for Substack and I record podcasts, and I talk very openly and honestly about my own journey, where I've come from and what I'm going through on a daily basis in order to be more authentic, which really helps other people feel less alone and inspired to take the action and all that kind of stuff. And then I also do through speaking gigs. So I speak at places and about this. I just turn up as me and hope that it inspires other people.
I think it does, though, doesn't it? You've had some really positive feedback about the experiences that you've created, and they're not just raves, they're actually about tuning into who you are.
Yeah, it's a full-on experience that takes the I'm just getting up my feedback that I had from this week's raves. I'll just read you some of those in a minute. It's a full-on experience that take women into this basically safe haven where they can dance freely to amazing tunes while celebrating themselves and celebrating other women. So I'll just read you a couple of the
go on.
messages. I was enveloped in an empowering and joyful atmosphere that radiated from the incredible women around me. This was a mind-blowing, powerful and emotional experience. I left feeling emotionally rejuvenated and inspired, unexpectedly content with newfound confidence and countless beautiful memories.
Wow.
Yeah. there's just something so wonderfully joyous about a room full of women letting themselves be swept up by the beats and the music. I've never raved so intentionally before, and something totally magical happened that I can't put into words.
I love that. I mean, I love the word intention as well, because it's this idea that I always talk about, designing your life, being intentional about it and not kind of living on default. So I have to ask you, was it your intention for some time to start doing these raves? How did you get into that?
It was definitely my intention to have the impact that I'm having on people, but I didn't know what it looked like. But I
That's
definitely, I definitely felt that. So I started like this kind of self-development journey about 10 years ago, and I knew that a part of it would be me stepping into some form of leadership role and making change, but I didn't know what that looked like. And I'd done all the all the journaling and the self-care, and learnt about how to put my needs first and all the things that you do. But the one piece that was missing was my joy. And I knew that my joy was linked to my purpose. And so I went on a bit of a discovery around things that brought me joy. And one thing that had always brought me joy was house music and clubbing music, because I was a massive clubber back in the days. So I thought, oh, I'll just give DJing a little bit of a whirl, just to see what happens. And then I just came alive. I literally,
as
soon as I pressed play, I was like, this is it. I know that this is it, but I don't know what it looks like again.
Yeah.
But I'm going for it. And so I just started, putting together loads and loads of tunes and mixes, and talking to people, talking to my friends, talking to my girl soul mates, just like, I know that DJing is something to do with this. I don't know what it is, but it's going to come in, and I'm waiting, and I'm going to keep talking about it. And then we went into lockdown, and I was like, right, I'm going to start doing some online raves. Absolutely shat my pants. Didn't know what it looked I didn't know what it looked like, but I just creatively thought, right, okay, I'm going to put together this little event, which is, I made everyone do these rave arms, right? First of all, I did it with kids and with men. I did this online rave and mums. And I made everyone do these rave arms, and like got everyone doing all this weird shit. And then I did a little 10-minute mix at the end. And then I was like, oh my God, that was just scary. And yes, I know it really lightened everyone's mood, but I don't want to work with kids, and I don't want to work with men. So straight away, I was like, I'm going to take this, move this into women. So then I was like, right, I'm going to start doing some online raves with women. Who wants to come? And this core group of women rocked up every day for 15 minutes at 8 a.m. during lockdown. I put together these different mixes, and I was like, right, because I was so creative with it all. I was like, right, we're going to have a drum and bass day. We're going to have a house day. We're going to have a self-love day. We're going to have an empowerment day. And I like just pulled, it was just a creative outlet for me. And over the year, I did 150 raves and built up a library of over 1,000 tunes. So I know. So I did all that in a year. I was like a woman on a mission. And then I took them on the road. I took them out into the world, and trialed them. The whole way along, I've trialed, tested, asked people what they like, what they don't like, all that kind of stuff. And it's just grown and grown and grown. And now, first of all, it was about the joy in the music, and the self-love aspect was really important, because that's a part of me that I've struggled with. And I know that in order to let go and dance and to really enjoy myself, there has to be a level of safety, and also a level of feeling like I'm good enough, and not comparing myself and not going into my head. So I thought, well, I think other women might actually appreciate that as well. So that element comes into it too. And then now what's happened is, because the raves are getting bigger and bigger, I've just got this vision of like it not just being about me delivering them. It's about the women who are part of my team delivering it too. So I have hype women too. And they come in as volunteers, and they are given full permission by me to be their unapologetic selves on the dance floor, but also to be able to give back to other women. And the energy that they create on top of what I'm creating is just magical. So when everybody walks in, they walk into this room of women who I've just hyped up and got completely like excited and feeling fucking shit hot about themselves, who are then passing that on to the women who are walking into the room. And then when we start dancing and coming together, the energy is just like it. Well, it's like what women are supposed to do. Do you know what I mean? They're supposed to come together, but it's so different to go into like a women's circle or like a women's retreat or something. That's a beautiful energy, and I absolutely love that. But when there's dance involved, it just becomes even more magnified.
What happens then? I'm guessing it's a different energy, really.
It just feels like truth, but you didn't know that that's what it felt like. So I can't describe it to you. It's the truth. So it's how we're meant to feel as women together versus comparing, separating, judging, putting other women down, feeling like inferior towards other women. It's just, it feels like connection. It feels like togetherness. It feels like a massive celebration. It feels like you want those women to be happy. You're like, I'm seeing these women happy. I'm seeing that woman smiling. I'm seeing that woman crying, and I'm just feeling this deep connection to her.
Why do you think you've had this reaction? Why was there such a call and a need for these experiences?
Because we live in a patriarchal society, and so there's a massive need for them. But in terms of my own journey and why I'm driving it so deeply, is I just know that my soul is driving it, and I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. And I'm like, I've got the skills, I've got the vision, I've got the creativity, I've got the support at home, I've got the support of amazing women. So there's just no way that I can't do it.
I love that amount of self-belief that you have. It's incredible.
It's not self-belief though, because I have so much fear as well and self-doubt. It's untrue.
But you can have the fear and feel really uncomfortable, but still believe deep down that you can do this thing. And what I've seen from you in the short time that I've known you is that you're very good at sitting in your own discomfort.
Yes, well, fucking hell, I am, but I am, but I'm also used to putting myself through a lot. So that's actually like, you know, that's something that it's not necessarily the most loving thing I can do to myself sometimes. So, you know, but yes, I am getting much better at sitting in discomfort. There's just something about me that even though things are uncomfortable, I have to stay true, and I have to stay honest, and I have to keep doing what I'm meant to be doing. I've got like that inner strength is so strong in me, even though I go through so much discomfort. Just this desire to be so deeply me.
Have you always had that, or is that something that's emerged since you started on the self-development journey?
I've definitely had it all my life to a point, but I definitely conformed a lot more when I was, growing up and in early years of motherhood. But now I don't conform as much. I've had to learn.
Yeah, just tell everybody what's written on your jumper today.
Oh, yeah. My Zero Fucks Club.
Yeah. In case we were in any doubt. And so you said you also like doing speaking and writing. Now, so what are the themes that you have for this vision? Because I know that you want to take things beyond the raves and beyond the music. Is it all to do with helping women to be more authentic?
Yeah, 100%. I firmly believe that the more we accept ourselves and then shine a light on our uniqueness and our gifts and our talents, the more we will do what we've come here to do, and we will have a part in world healing and raising the consciousness of our planet. That's what I firmly believe. So I believe that being yourself means that we're going to heal the world. It's profound, isn't it?
It is profound.
It is profound. But we also have to really kind of accept all the parts of us that we don't like too. That's part of it. And that's what I talk about in my speaking and with the raves. You know, at the beginning of the raves, I say there's going to be parts of you that are going to be resisting this, maybe telling you like that you're too, you know, you're too loud, you're too out there, or you can't move. I don't know. I'm just going off on a little tangent now. But basically, there are parts of us that we have to get to know and love as well, that might be trying to keep us safe, but are also parts that we don't really like about ourselves, but they need to be validated as well. And then there's also the other parts that need a light shining on them and need to be encouraged to come out more. So I say that with my raves, and I talk about it in my writing. I talk a lot about being more disco ball, because a disco ball's got like, let me just get my disco ball for you. So that a disco ball's got like, you know, it's got loads of parts to it. And the more we get to know all of those parts, and welcome them and then shine a light on the ones that need shining the most, the bigger and bigger and bigger the ball gets, and the shinier and shinier it gets. And that's, you know, world healing in action in my eyes.
Yeah. You know what I like about the analogy of a disco ball as well? It's that sense of you get to shine the light where you want. The disco ball has the capacity to show you certain facets and also hide certain facets. So it's a really good analogy for how we are as humans, isn't it?
Yes, it really is. And obviously it's got the nod to music, and I absolutely love disco balls. They're just so
Me
cool.
too.
In case you haven't heard, you can now purchase Mischief Movement merch. It's all done through T-Mill, a UK print-on-demand platform offering global delivery, organic cotton, and production powered by renewable energy. Not only can you now tell everyone you are a true mischief maker, but if you feel inspired to create your own t-shirts, stickers, or mugs, you could also give T-Mill a try, because it's a great way to experiment your ideas and take fast action with low risk. You'll find the links in the show notes, so write yourself a little reminder for later, and let's get back to the episode.
What are some of the struggles that you personally have overcome to get to this point in your life where you feel, I wouldn't say comfortable, because you've already kind of said to me that you do a lot of things that are uncomfortable, but perhaps more sure of yourself in that if you've got an idea, you're going to go with it? Because, you know, I don't think that necessarily comes naturally to everybody. Sometimes you have to go on a bit of a journey to get to that stage.
Yeah. I think what I'm good at doing is taking action, basically, without knowing where something's going, which is really hard because people like to go, oh, and I do this, like working it all out in the head. But what I've learned is even if you work stuff out in your head and then you do it, you learn loads anyway. And the stuff that you thought was going to happen in your head doesn't happen. And the stuff that doesn't happen does happen. For me, like professionalism and creating experiences that are really, impactful is really important to me. But I don't know what's going to happen to those women. I can just basically create something that comes from my heart and soul and stick my professional stamp on it and then have to let go. And so that's what I've learned, is that I get an idea, I get a feeling, I'll do as much as I can towards it, and then I just have to go put it out there and see what the hell's going to happen.
Yeah. There's a lot to be said for both being an action taker and also sitting in uncertainty.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, like you said, they won't take the action until they're certain about how the thing's going to pan out and they've planned it all. But
Yeah.
I love this idea that you're just going to take the action and see where it goes.
Yeah, well, I did it earlier this year and it's still feeling wobbly for me because I launched my Substack about 6-7 months ago, which is a weekly podcast where I share openly about my life and what I'm going through in order to help inspire people to live more authentically. It's very real and honest. And I was like, I need accountability for journaling because otherwise I won't do it myself. And I know that my honesty really inspires people because when I send emails out about what's going on in my life, loads of my mailing list come back and they say, you're the only email that I read. It's so real. It's so refreshing. So I was like, right, I think, well, people might like this, but I don't know where it's going, what it looks like. So I just put it out there and was like, I've started this. At the moment, it's quite in its raw form. I'm going to just play around with it and then see what happens. And now it's turned into, well, it was going to be like 1 or 2 pieces of writing. Now it's turned into a weekly piece of writing. But then now I'm also having, I'm feeling that it needs to move into another direction at the moment. And I'm at the point now where I've got feedback from people. I know what they like. Yeah. I know what they want. And I'm about to pivot it into another direction now and put some real oomph behind it in terms of the branding, what it looks like, because I didn't know what it was going to be. And that was really brave of me to put that out, knowing that I'm going to get judged probably by people, or people just don't get it, don't want it, rejected, because it's not the raves, it's totally different and it's very raw because it's me. But at the same time, my soul wanted to do it. So I did it.
Yeah. And how's the Substack going? Because you only started it this year. So
yeah, it's going really well.
Getting traction.
It is getting traction, definitely.
Good.
I don't think people realise how inspirational it can be for them. Because it's very different to what other people are doing. I'm not saying, right, this week we're going to do a vision board. This week we're going to do this. This week we're doing that. I'm not overwhelming anybody with anything. I'm literally sharing deep insights from someone who is on a very deep journey to living authentically whilst overcoming addiction, control, perfectionism, and having a child and being a wife and running a business, and has a lot of, fear and low self-worth. So it's, it's really, really honest and very vulnerable. But also, like, my advice to myself is fucking shit hot because I've done a lot of work on myself. And I've worked with a lot of people, the top people. So it's actually like therapy for £3.99 a month for people. Seriously. Because it's so relatable. That's what everyone who is a paid subscriber has said to me. So I've been getting feedback. I'm having feedback from them all again in a couple of weeks. That's also really important to get feedback. So I'm now ready to go, okay, I'm owning that now. I'm really owning what that is and getting more clear around it with people and sharing more about it.
I'm just interested to know, like, I struggle to take action if I can't see what the thing is going to be. Like, would you have any advice for me or for somebody else who's like, I've got this half idea. I often talk about this. I have these kind of half ideas and I can't quite envisage the full thing. So I put the brakes on and go, oh, not quite ready for that yet. But it sounds like you're right, just plow ahead anyway. Like, how do you get to that point?
Do you know what? I talk about it to people a lot. So obviously I'm now going into corporate and doing talks, but I still don't know what that fully looks like because I don't know who the audiences are. I don't know how I'm going to get in with people. I don't really know fully what I'm going to say, but I've just got a feeling about it. And so I know in my mind that I'm doing it. That's it. I'm doing it, but I don't know what it looks like. So I think it's just the decision that it's going to be done, which is a signal out to the universe to say, I'm doing it. I don't know what it looks like, but you need to show me the way. And last week I was doing a festival and I met someone who goes into loads of corporates and does loads of talks and stuff, but she's also a trainer and she trains women on their keynote speech. And I was like, this is what I need. This is what I need. I'm excited. So that is one person's been met that brings all of it together for me. Just one person, because I've got the idea of the speech. I know what I'm going to say, I think, roughly. She can help me put it together and she can train me with like voice projection, confidence, all those kind of things. So I just get the feeling of where I want to go next and what I think is right. And then I put it out there and I talk about it. I mean, my poor girlfriends, like, they're like, Caroline, can you just have a rest? You know, because I deliver something and then I get an idea for the next thing. And then I deliver that and then I get an idea for the next thing. But I won't stop talking about it because it just brings it into the current moment.
Yeah. And did you know, like, when you started writing, what sort of direction that was going to go? And did you just have a feeling that you wanted to write and then you were like, I'm just going to see what comes out?
I knew that I wanted it to be a place where I can to refer to on a daily basis in order to remember my commitment to myself and all the things that help me depending on what I need. So like I've got posts on there about navigating highs and lows because I go through highs and lows, and then I've got posts on there about dealing with my inner critic. And so when those things come up, say if I'm in a low or if my inner critic's really high, I can just go back and listen to that and it just helps me. So it was actually intentional to be for me first, which is everything and that's something I haven't really said. Everything I have created and put out there has been for me first, always. And it's about my joy, my growth. And then anyone who works in my team is the same thing. It's about your joy and your growth. And then anyone who comes to my raves or listens to anything is about their joy and their growth. I knew it was going to be a place for me to help myself in order to help others. And it still is going to be that, but I can feel a shift and a change coming, but I don't know what it is yet. I'm just feeling into it at the moment.
That's cool. What does that feel like?
It feels like there's a bit of a dam in front of the river in my body. So when things are totally in flow and aligned and everything's exactly how it's meant to be, I feel like I've got like a river flowing through my body, and I feel very connected to everything I'm doing. When there starts to feel like there's a bit of a dam or like a blockage, it's like, right, something needs to shift and change here. I don't feel like that with the raves. The raves feel like a river just flowing like crazy through me. The speaking stuff, I can feel the river is flowing, but there's more to kind of come in, but I don't need to know about that yet. I think I'm quite intuitive. And then obviously with the Substack, I had the river flow 6 months ago, but now it's like there needs to be a change because I can feel like something's blocked in my body.
I find it really interesting, your sort of level of self-awareness, or your sort of intuition, and how you lean into that very heavily to know which direction to go in and what to do. Yeah,
and I can feel it when people ask me to do events or things come up. I can get, even if they really make sense, I just get like I can't do that. I just can't do it. So I have to say no to a lot of events as well. Yeah, even though
I was really sad actually that I couldn't make it up north over the summer to get to Happy Place and rave with you, because that would have been really fun.
That it was insane. They were wild at Happy Place. All these middle-aged women think that they're like, just coming along for their yoga retreat, and then they get to my rave and they're like, bloody hell, and they absolutely love it.
Incredible. Do you have a music background, or is it just stem from the DJing that you developed sort of later on in life?
Yes, it's from going out and clubbing for like days on end. I was into music from like at age 10, 11, 12. And then I started getting into house music and stuff from about the age of 14, or rave music, and old school and stuff like that, and jungle. And then that just continued. So I've been massively into music. I definitely have a musical ear though.
Yeah. But it wasn't necessarily a career path that you had before.
No, nothing is. And this is what's so beautiful about it, is that I have no qualifications. I'm not like, everyone, and this sometimes concerns me because, when I do Happy Place and things like that, it's like all the women there are either like Reiki practitioners, or they've done their yoga 1, 2, 3, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not. I'm just rocking up as me with this concept that I've created that no one else is doing. There's no, it's not been proved by anybody before, but it's really fucking powerful. So actually, I think it's a testament and a huge message to be more you and do those things, even if they don't make sense.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. And I actually love the fact that you just made a point of saying that you don't have any qualifications for this, because you have leaned into your passions and just leaned into being the most you version of you. I love where it's taking you. It's really exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. When I did Mind, Body, Spirit a couple of weeks ago in Birmingham, it was the most diverse crowd that I've ever had in my life.
Really?
And oh my God, I had every single age in there, every single culture. And my mind started going into, are they going to like the music? Is this the right set? What do I say around the self-love? Because not everybody's going to get it. And I was like, the only thing I can do in this situation is just bring even more of me, because, that's it. And I have to remember that over and over and over and over. Not everybody's going to like it. Not everybody's going to get it. But the more I bring of myself, the people who do get it are going to get it on such a deeper level.
Yeah.
So that's another 100%. Thing. Like, when you're trying to, you're putting yourself out there on socials, that people are judging you. When I first started DJing, the looks, my family, the mums at the school, all that kind of stuff, like, oh, she's having a midlife crisis, blah, 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 all that kind. No one ever said it to me, but I can see in people's faces, and I press the discomfort in other people as well. But at the end of the day, that me being more me and me doing that has really, really made an impact on people. And I've learned now not to concern myself as much with what other people are thinking. I haven't spoken a lot about actually, how I make decisions. And
I think that's really interesting though. And it's really interesting for me, speaking to you now, to hear this sense of, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but actually it's going somewhere and I know it is, but also I have a little bit of an issue with self-belief, but also I know I'm really like, this is constant contradiction inside you, because I think so many people must feel that way.
Yeah. So it just shows that just because I'm jumping up and down behind the decks and I've got all these testimonials and I'm growing and growing and growing, I'm still that little girl and I'm still frightened and I'm still, overwhelmed. So I do also do that thing where I'm like, right, well, I'll want to overthink something before I start it. Yeah. But I don't anymore. But yeah.
In terms of then where you see things going in the future, I know that you want to keep going with the writing and you want to sort of branch out into the speaking. But have you got any big goals that you'd really like to nail next year or in the next few years? Or is it very much a case of just see where things take you?
Well, I have a big event next October in Manchester. So I'm going on tour next year with the Raves across the north. I'm doing a couple in the northeast. And then I'm taking it across the north, the Rave. But then we all come together in October for the ultimate self-love rave in Manchester. And that is at the monastery, I think. I'm not sure yet. I haven't signed the contract yet. But so that's 500 women. It is the most magical venue and magnifies the energy that I was talking about at the beginning. So that's that. And obviously I've got all my speaking gigs. I want to speak at Happy Place Festival. I'm putting that out there. I want to be on the talk stage this time, as well as doing my raves. So I'll put that out there to the universe. But also my ultimate goal, which not many people know about this, only people on Substack know about this, is my ultimate goal is to set up a foundation to support charities that are helping kids to live authentically, so that we can get this message out from day dot. And we don't all have to get to the age of 40 and realise, what the fuck have I been doing? This is who I am, and for them to find their joy, for them to find what lights them up. And, that's the ultimate goal. And I will 100% do it. 100%. I've got a vision. I've got a massive vision of a big charity ball where we raise a lot of money for those charities. But I don't know what the charities are yet. And I keep talking about it and putting it out there, but nothing's coming forward because divine timing, it's not ready. It's not ready for me to do it yet. I need to get stronger as a speaker, because I'm going to be lobbying and campaigning and all that kind of stuff with it. I can feel it. So I need to get stronger as a speaker first. And that's another thing, like the whole divine timing. I was talking about my raves before I knew what I was doing for years until it happened. And it wasn't it wasn't until we went into lockdown. And so I do really believe in divine timing too.
Yeah. What happened in lockdown then? Did you just get a feeling that was the moment?
Well, it was an opportunity.
Yeah.
It was an opportunity, and it just presented itself to me. So
would you say you're quite good at sort of seeing and then grabbing opportunities when they come along?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. I've got a fuck it attitude to stuff, which is what I talk about in my raves and everything. It's like, fuck it, just give it a go. The energy of fuck it is like reckless, is wild, it's like brave, it's courageous, and it's quite naughty, and that's what I am. And so so I think fuck it. If anyone's out there and they're like, oh, I've got this idea, instead of going be brave, that's really boring. Fuck it instead. Fuck it.
I love it. Oh, Caroline, it's been so fun chatting with you. And I can't wait to. I will make it to one of your raves because I really, really want to come and experience it for myself. Where can people find out more about you then? What is your Substack?
Well, my Substack, just look up Caroline Kelf and you'll find me. But all my links are on my website, djflourish.co.uk, and also Instagram at Rave with DJ Flourish.
Amazing. And one thing I hadn't actually asked you, but like, what's your experience in actual event organising? Because this is just snowballing now, it feels like. Yeah. Have you got any of that experience, or are you just kind of, forgive the term, making it up as you go along?
No, I do have event experience. Okay. I do. Yeah, my former life, I was an event manager and a PA. So I am highly organised and I have a lot of experience in things like that. So yes, I'm very good on the vision and the experience, not so much on all the practical things. So I've got people helping me now with all of that, which is great.
Perfect. And it's such a good use of like previous experience and now bringing it in to create these kind of experiences that bring you the most joy.
Yeah, and I really think that that's important to say that, like, you know, everything that's led me up to this point and will have led other people up to where they are will have, you know, nuggets of wisdom and gifts and talents and everything that could be brought together in order to create whatever you want to create. That's what I mean about the disco ball. Everybody is so different and unique, and it's about, you know, using all parts of you. And that's just what I've done with this. I've taken all my best bits and created something from my best bits.
I love that. And it feels like the perfect place to stop. So thank you so much, Caroline. And hopefully I get to dance with you in real life very soon.
You will, because you're coming on the 2nd of October.
Okay. I've been told.
Off if you don't.
Oh, amazing.
Are you ready for my key takeaways? Off we go. Number 1, if you feel stuck or lost in life, discovering or rediscovering the things that bring you joy is an absolutely brilliant place to start. 2, self-love isn't the same as self-care. If we want to show up authentically, we have to learn to embrace and validate the parts of us that we don't like as much as well as the ones we do. 3, think of yourself as a disco ball. There are parts you can shine a light on, parts that are hidden, and the whole ball is multifaceted, multidimensional, just like us. 4, don't hang on to those brilliant ideas. Take action on them, even when you're not sure what the outcome is going to be, and then let them go. 5, when you launch new ideas or show a different side to yourself, there will always be people who don't get it or judge you. But be brave, because your vulnerability is also the thing that's going to create connection with the people who do get it. 6, trial things, test, adjust, and get feedback so you know what's working and what's not. Don't be afraid to just get messy, because you can perfect it later. 7, how do you bring an idea into reality? One way is to just keep talking about it until it slowly starts to happen. Maybe this also errs on the edge of manifestation. What do you think? 8, do the things that light you up even when they don't make sense. And 9, if you're still feeling scared or are doubting yourself, give it some fuck it energy. Declare this your fuck it era. Be a bit wild and give it a go.
That's a wrap on another episode of the Mischief Movement podcast. If today's content stirred something in you, let's keep in touch on Instagram or connect with me on LinkedIn. You can even click the link in the show notes to sign up to my Mischief Mail newsletter, where you'll get exclusive insights on upcoming episodes and your chance to submit questions to future guests. But shh, don't tell anyone, it's our secret. For more info on ways to work with me and some fun free resources, check out the website themischiefmovement.com. Until next time, stay bold, stay rebellious, and of course, keep making mischief.